There have been a lot of comments made about the university faculty needs to work harder, longer hours, they need to do more. Well, I have to tell you, in the 12 years that I had the honor of serving as your mayor, from 1995 through the year 2007, I did not know a harder working bunch of people than faculty at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Let me give you some examples. All the way from the chancellors at the time who were engaged in this community, and I met with on a regular basis, concerned about the community, to our vice chancellors, provosts, PhDs, heads of the School of Business and other departments who volunteered their time to serve on committees and commissions and boards in the community. Members of our Police and Fire Commission, our Plan Commission, our Community Development Authority, members who would study, members from the university who would be a part of our comprehensive planning committee. The list could go on. If I really spent the amount of time and listed for the community the exceptional work that these professors have done in helping to develop this community, to aid the community, to guide the community, we'd be doing community focus for several hours today. But that was a part that really disturbed me, as I think it was recently pointed out in a job screening that was done for the university, some type of an internal audit. The average work week for a university professor is over 60 hours per week. They are already working very hard in their classroom, counseling their students, preparing lesson plans, and on top of all that, professors here in Stevens Point are actively engaged in civic government planning. They spend time working with people in our community to make it a better community. And it's important to realize that cities are the economic engines that drive Wisconsin's economy. And the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point is a critical component in this city. And if you think about cities are the economic engines that drive the state's economy, you can't cripple a part of that community like a university. And there are universities in many communities without having a negative impact. Let me give you some examples of how a city is such an important part of Wisconsin's economy. Wisconsin's metropolitan regions already account for 75% of the state's gross domestic product. Think about that, 75% of the gross domestic product. Wisconsin cities and villages are home to 70% of the state's population, with 87% of all manufacturing property and 89% of all commercial property are in cities or villages. Those are important numbers when we talk about a state's economy and its economic vitality. 89% of all commercial property, 87% of all manufacturing property are in cities and villages in Wisconsin. Most of the small businesses that are created in Wisconsin get their start either in a city or in a village. Cities and villages are where nearly all of the technology-based companies are located in Wisconsin. Startups and other knowledgeable-based economic activity occur almost exclusively within city limits. So the bottom line is a city and the university are interwoven together. They are together as one, serving as one entity, and it's important that for Wisconsin to compete globally, we need to develop and to maintain quality communities, and we can only do that by having quality universities like the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Now, what can you do? Again, as I mentioned a moment ago, if you believe that a $300 million cut is too deep, and I do believe that, then contact your state representative, your state senator, other officials in Madison, perhaps shoot off a nice letter to the governor's office explaining why you believe those cuts are too devastating. We'll keep you posted on that. I know Chancellor Patterson and his team are working very hard to educate the state. Other chancellors throughout Wisconsin are talking about why those cuts are devastating and why we need to really resist that deep cut to quality education here in the state of Wisconsin.